Indicate. You're online. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Apparently we're online, so there's no delay at the start. I don't have to sort of sit still.
No, there's no delay at the start, even though you've been doing this for over a year now. You should have known this.
So,
oh my goodness.
What's happened?
Advert came up straight away. The moment that we started, an advert came up on my monitor.
It just came up on mine as well.
YouTube's getting worse for that.
It does actually, yeah. So let's see, who have we got in the chat room? And remember that our cupboard monkey needs to eat, and she gets pizza if you guys all get together. 400 concurrents is what we're aiming for today. Let's make it a record, because Cupboard Monkey needs her pizza. But it's really great to see you all. Don't forget to share on social media. Let everybody know that we are live and dangerous. And actually the weather is really, really nice. I can see you squirming. You're getting all squirrely.
If we make it a record, are you going to scratch beat it?
Yes. Yes, we're going to scratch with this record. I can't do the noise.
To be honest with you, I'm amazed you even joked about doing that.
Why?
Because you treat your vinyl like it's a child.
I do, yes.
You're a special friend.
Sort of. But also, we've got a new camera angle, so you'll see my hand from time to time, and the edge of me.
Because she forgets that it's there.
Yeah, I forget it's there. So we're basically using the roving cam to get a different angle, so you can see the TMD there on Weir Yard. Going to take you on a tour. We've got one of those Elgato streaming decks, which we're kind of sold on this.
I treated Jen.
Well, no, I've been saying to her for some time. Actually, I think it was Ollie Simmons of Wardle Road, who said you really need to get one of these. And I went to the Cupboard Monkey, who controls the purse strings of the company. Oh no, we're not spending money. And eventually I wore her down, and she's got one and has fallen in love with it. So
I love the feel of the buttons.
Yeah, they've got like little light up buttons, so we can change the angle at the press of a button. It also means that we're not going to get that Doctor Who-esque howl around when we go to show web pages, which is a great improvement.
That is the reason that I said yes to it.
Yeah, so also I'd like to say a big thank you to Garthion, who is one of our really, really good supporters over on Patreon. And it also does come into the live chat an awful lot. Very, very generous. So we've got the Garthian Helgen Bayer Garrett going round, but also we saw him yesterday, socially distanced, at the Statfold Barn Railway. Very, very kindly invited myself and the Cupboard Monkey down there, and we had a really great day, did a lot of filming. So stay tuned for the Friday video. This Friday, that's going to be the bulk of the footage that we did. There may be some that carries over to another video, which will be like a purely riding on the trains kind of thing.
I think we are going to end up with that.
But the main bulk is going to be on the Friday video. But he also lent me the Sutton Locomotive Works Class 24.
And he actually asked you not to mention it and just let it run around and see how long it took for people to notice it.
Oh, sorry, that's my fault. So I'll just start her up. I've been wondering for a while what a Class 24 with full chat sounded like. But certainly it really is good. So a big thank you for learning that. It's going to appear in a review video. I'm just going to turn that off now. It'll do its thing and wind down. I really want to compare it to the Bachmann 24-1.
You're not going to run around? People are going to want to see it. So, Paul Cottrell says tonight is gooseberry and rhubarb crumble. Oh, I could do with some crumble.
You wanted pizza a moment ago. But the Cupboard Monkey gets stale bread and water if we don't reach 400 concurrent. So that's where we're up to. But this thing's got full stay alive, sound, the works. It really is quite impressive. Although you can't make the horn go unless the engine's running, and it can be a bit noisy.
Isn't that kind of the point?
Well, I don't know. So yeah, really quite impressed by that. Just park it back up there, and there we go. So yeah, we had a great day out on Sunday, and as I guess all of you guys know, the lockdown has been ramped up. I mean, we've already had a ramping up in Bolton, where you're not really allowed to go out, and you're certainly not allowed to go and meet in people's houses, gardens, that kind of thing.
The only reason we were allowed to go out yesterday is essentially it was media.
Yeah, so we've already, and apparently that was down to the bulk of the blip that you will have seen in the news. It was following Bolton around. Is down to one person, one selfish person who came back from Spain, I believe. Ibiza, couldn't be bothered to quarantine, went out on a pub crawl, later tested positive, by which point they'd infected somewhere in the region of 200 people. That is why Bolton is in lockdown. But luckily the local newspapers have named and put a picture up of the guy.
Would you do me a favour and press for the...
So, we are currently showing you, this is a little bit of footage that we took yesterday at Statfold Barn Railway. Never been there before. It's quite a new place, but I'm really, really impressed at what we saw there.
You know, I was amazed. It's such a good day.
Yeah, so really, really pleased. Oh God, who's that ugly mush? But certainly, I'm going to move away from that now because
you're on the screen again.
Well, no, I don't want to show too much.
Well, that's not what we're doing. We're just doing a little bit of a show.
Yeah, but it's one of the things. The Elgato Stream Deck allows to do that quite smoothly and easily. But a big hello to J94, KTM, David Cook. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Crossways Point Junction, Haven Rail, Clive Cobalt, Retired, Leo, Ben Tullett, Richard Swiderski, Robert Ward, who says, "Evening, Jenny and Zoe. I thought that you would want 450 likes before the Cupboard Monkey could have a pizza. No, I'm feeling generous, so 400 will do." Ben Tullett, definitely smash the like button like mad tonight, everyone. Zoe deserves a pizza after the video she has recently done on her channel. Yeah, certainly that preview in her vlog about the visit to Statfold Barn, that has gone up, but also the animation. She's done some amazing animations, some of which are getting shared in the Star Trek community. They're really liking them. We've got Roger Hunter, Josh's Train Room, Simon Trains MRS. It's Monday already. Gronk, Gronk, Gronk. Just kidding. Good evening, everyone. Jenny and Zoe. Garthian, big hello. Good evening, one and all. It was really nice getting to meet our hosts yesterday, and so looking forward to today's show. Thank you ever so much. It was a great day out actually. And thank you ever so much, Garthian, for putting Statfold Barn Railway on my radar. We really enjoyed our time there. And
I don't normally really get into it when I'm there filming for Jen. For me, it's always a focus on what makes a good shot and is Jen
but you like
being
that
happy.
tram.
But I had a great time.
They had this electric tram. It was actually running on forklift truck batteries, but the Cupboard Monkey was absolutely desperate to not only ride the tram but ride on the top deck, and it does give a very good view.
Oh, this TARDIS has been spotted. Would you do me the honours, Jen, and pass it?
Oh right. The TARDIS, who spotted it? That was pretty good, sharp eyes going on there.
Garthian saw it and Tim Condrup saw it.
Garthian's very, very good at spotting the TARDIS.
Yeah, he's always spotting it.
Will Tucker, evening all. Thought I'd join you before curtain call tonight. Great to have you.
Curtain call?
David Cook says, first time, welcome along. It's always great to have first timers as well as some of the old hands. Saying, David, a Yorkshireman in Arizona, USA. So are you treating the Arizonians to, is it Arizonans or Arizonians? But showing them how things should be done proper, like. Have you got whippet on string and flat cap?
It's too hot for a flat cap in Arizona, isn't it?
Well, though, keep the sun off your buns.
Yeah. My aunt used to live there, and she said it was like living in a desert.
Garthian says, nice picture of you, Jenny. Wonder when Zoe took that one. Clive Cobalt says, hi from Northern Ireland. Haven Rail, Tim Condrup, Noswith Da, Neville Wen, Yochavi.
You don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just say Welsh words and hope that people
Ben
understand.
Tullett says, great camera angle. So I'm going to move back to that camera angle. That's with the roving cam. And it's something a little bit different that we have not had up here for a while.
Yeah, and that camera angle is totally not caused by sellotaping a roving camera to a chair.
Logan Clary, hi to you. Z Fantasy Train says, hi Jenny and Zoe from Arizona. Hey, there's a few people in from Arizona. So, I mean, it's a big place. I think Arizona's probably bigger than the whole of the UK.
Z Fantasy Train says, it is a desert here. Well, that's why she said it was like living in one.
Model Steam, hi to you. New Junction, good evening to you. Great to have you in. Always great when New Junction pops on through. Don't forget, share the stream. And
I have the Coke, please.
you want the Coke, do you?
Thank you.
Cupboard Monkey wants
Cokey.
Actually, Cupboard Monkey wants pizza as well. So don't forget, if we can get 400 concurrents during the stream, then the Cupboard Monkey will be allowed by me to order a pizza.
Well, I'll need to basically create 189 accounts, otherwise I'm not going to get one.
Yeah, Melchester Mother Railway says hi to you. Russell Benton, evening ladies, got my Shiraz in hand, ready to go. Ooh, I like a Shiraz and a Cabernet Sauvignon. Actually, I like a.
You don't even know how to pronounce these things.
What, a Cabernet Sauvignon?
Yeah, and a Shiraz.
I must admit, actually, I can remember going somewhere where there was a couple that clearly thought that naming their child after wine was really like tasteful and like
yeah, it's just a shame they chose Hawk.
No. It's like Sauvignon, come over here, come to your mum. And I'm like, oh my god, like a Chardonnay. Hello, Chardonnay, how you doing?
I still think my joke was better, calling them Hawk.
Gary Wicklow, evening to you. Josh's Train Room, David Cook, Crossways, Point Junction.
Ben Tullett says, Jenny's already behind in the chat. Yeah, 8 minutes in, you can't keep up.
I know. Dog All Dad, hi to you. Bang Got You Junction, Carl Brand. Hi Jenny and all. 57305, Northern Princess, evening to you. Robert Ward, no, you got it. Release the Gronks. Unfortunately, there's no. Well, actually, there is some Gronks knocking about, but we did.
Gronk it up. Gronk it up.
Look what you've started. Right, we've got 220 people in the stream. A big hello to everybody who's joined us tonight on this very fine Monday. And the weather is actually surprisingly good. We've got our air conditioning up and running, but it's not really doing me any good. Are you enjoying that, Cupboard
I'm
Monkey?
cooled down now. You can turn it around if you want.
Oh, that's good, because I'm getting a bit hot here. That
Feeling hot.
Oh, that is pleasant. We're using the bottle of frozen water, and you can see there it's actually unfrozen quite a lot.
Yeah, it's not frozen water anymore.
It's taken a lot of heat out of the room, I must admit. Robert Ward, excuse me, Tony Simmons, Clive Cobwell, Patrick Ling, Redvers B, Brockton South, hi to you, Model Steam, hello, Vobert Becking, hi all. Richard Swiderski, hi Jen, sorry, I hope you're not too hot. It is quite warm actually.
Oh no. Naive Gage says he can't stay for the whole of Monday Club tonight because he has to rush off to Tesco to buy dried goods and toilet rolls before the selfish people panic buy them again. Yeah, actually, yeah, that might happen.
I must admit, I did buy some bog roll earlier on today. So if you haven't yet bought your bog roll, then you are excused to rush out to the shops and see if you can get some. Bear Lane,
Jen, you shouldn't have said that. We've lost 200 people.
Paul Cottrell, hello. What's going on here then, Evening all. Southern Train Girl, hi to you. Retired Leo, Flymo Junction, Charlie Grinnell, Josh's Train Room, Garthian. I see a very nice looking Loco on the bank by the bridge. Very much, actually. Very much.
Wow, you are so far behind.
Am I? Jeff Hammond, Flint Hills, Paul Cotterell. Oh yeah, you read that out a while ago. Clive Cobold says, New Junction, I got my Hornby magazine today by Royal Mail. Everybody seems to be getting it before me. I still haven't got my copy.
I'm going down to town tomorrow to get you one.
I know there's supposedly one in the...
Actually, I'm not allowed.
Yeah. Just a Puggle with internet access, also known as Harrison. Hello to you. Tony Wright, hi to you. Lifestyle Unleashed, hi there. Richard Swiderski, yes, is class 24. Bear Lane, Stephen Price, hello to you. Tony Wright says rice pudding tonight. Actually, I haven't had a good rice pudding in a long time. We should do one in the slow cooker.
I haven't made a rice pudding for ages. I got into crumbles big time. Crumbles.
You did. Bang got you, Junction, Carl Brauns. Kent Train fan, hi to you. Naive Gauge. Garthian says, that's the first time I've seen the 24 working. You could do a full startup procedure with it too. Oh my god, have you not tested it? I must admit,
Oh my goodness.
I only got it out of the box just before the stream. So
Give it a run round.
it's got a great pickup, hasn't it?
That sound is wow.
Yeah. So actually, that I don't know whether will that angle capture it as it. Yeah, you can just see it there, cruising down the gradient. I must get something set up. I'd really like to try out the ABC shuttle modules. So if anybody from DCC Concepts is watching, then do drop me a line. I really want to check them out.
Tell you what.
Oh, what happened there?
Don't know. Tell you what, I'll get you some for Christmas.
On a dead spot.
Doesn't it have a stay alive, or hasn't it powered up?
It does, but if it stops on a dead spot, it can only do its special dance for a little while.
Ah, we get the old Jenny Butto cam.
Yeah, that's very strange. Right. So.
Hello, this is an automated bot, says hello, Jenny.
You keep an eye on the
Okay,
comments.
Jen, you're worrying me now. Ben Tullett says, the most important page in the latest Hornby magazine for Jenny is the page where it lists all the contributors and editors. I've seen that you're in that.
Yeah.
Is it off the dead spot? Yes. Richard Swiderski says he thinks he saw the TARDIS, but Jen moved the camera. Well, if you think you saw it, that's not the same as seeing it, so we still need to know. Robin Slywer says, I've just got into model railway and I've got a layout. Excellent, welcome to the hobby. The more the merrier, we're all happy to have you here. So, Jenny, have you fixed it? Have you worked out what was wrong?
So I'm just, I'm running the 24 because I did get asked. So it's just currently shuffling up and down the gradient. I do like the sound chip, actually. I dread to think what it costs. Actually, Garthian did tell me what it costs, and it's like, oh! But certainly, I think it's worth every penny, you know. I'm really quite taken with this. Right,
Final Chairman 1 says, with the TARDIS, only time will tell.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did. Don't forget to share the stream on social media. Also,
what was that?
That's the shutdown procedure.
Oh my goodness.
And also don't forget, you can check us out over on Patreon. We've got Super Chat, we've got the PayPal.me and all that kind of stuff. But, right, Kev McKay85, heard anything on City of Salford? City of Salford, as in the Princess Coronation class
I'd assume
locomotive?
it was a city's class, wouldn't it?
Or, well, no, it's Princess Coronation.
Jen's
sure
looking
about
at me
that.
like, hang on, how do you know these words?
Will Tucker, that's not. I've been to Middleton. We've been to the CEX there and picked you up some games.
Oh yes, several times.
Will Tucker says, bought my Hornby mag in Middleton 2 days ago. Ronald Morris says, hi Zoe and Jen, I have a Gronk on Wildenhall Parkway 08818 in BR Blue.
Excellent.
I've got 08721 and 08507 and 08243 currently sat on the layout. Just over, I don't know where, no, they're not on that angle. Are they on this angle?
Simon's Trains MRS says, anyone heard about the Wally virtual event in November?
I have, yes. Apparently they're doing a load of filming for that. I haven't been invited to do anything. Nobody invites me.
Why don't you ask them? If you want to be involved, why don't you just put yourself forward and say, look, I would love to be involved. I really like what you do. I'd love to be
Yeah, I
part
would
of it."
actually, yeah. I mean, I'm always quite happy to be interviewed. We can produce video and stuff. It's not an issue. Always like to be involved. and give a little something back to the community.
Absolutely. So Knife Gauge says, very excited last week to take delivery of a load of infrared proximity detectors.
Ooh.
What are they?
Well, basically, it's a thing that allows the DCC system to know where the trains are.
Ah,
It's basically that train
very
detection.
Nice.
Russell Benton says, I'm not a great sound fan, but must admit I like a good salsa. Memories of them blasting up Cowlairs Incline from Glasgow Queen Street. The Steam Guy says, speaking of the TARDIS, I've just been listening to new Doctor Who audio by Big Finish. Big Finish do some really great stuff. Strontium Dog.
Absolutely.
I love Strontium Dog that they put out.
The Strontium, there's only 2, and they're amazing. Plus there's like that one with Judge Dredd and Johnny Alpha, but it's not quite the same. But they're hilarious.
Yeah, very much. Garthian says, I really so need to start building my layout, then I can run all 3 of my Sutton Locomotive Workshop Class 24s.
Oh my goodness.
One of them's there, but he's told me the other 2 he's got, and I am so jealous, actually. I'm a real fan of classes 24 and 25 in particular. And I have to say, I'm really liking that. It'd be interesting to see if after Bachmann, now that Bachmann have done the 24-1, tooled up to fully new standards, they're going to be revisiting the 25. It'll be interesting to see how that is going to be brought up to modern standards. But also, I'd like to see them revisit the 24-0, and actually, I think that they could really give the Sutton Locomotive Workshop one a good run for its money. Now, in the news...
The TARDIS has been spotted, Garfield spotted it.
News. Anyway, in the news, first up, Acura Scale. They've released some more images of the all-new Class 55. And I have to say, that the Class 55 is one that I got a Bachmann Class 55 right back when they first came out, probably about 2001, something like that. And I got 55020 Nimbus. It's actually up there somewhere, and I was so disappointed by that model. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it just didn't quite feel right to me. And it's one of those things, you know, sometimes a model, you can't quite work out what it is, but it just doesn't gel with you. And the Bachmann 55 has been very much like that with me. Now, I've seen the new updated images of the test shots of the Acura Scale Class 55, and it looks right. I'm looking at that model and thinking, that is the model that I want. I can't tell you what is different. Certainly it's got a lot more finesse to it. But because of COVID, and I know that this is sort of like one of those things that's going to be trotted out ad nauseum, but because of COVID, everything's been pushed back. They've also just signed off on some revisions to the tooling, which is something that's come about because they've had feedback of the first EPs. So we're talking about, I know it was originally supposed to be released, I think it was November this year. That has now been pushed back to end of Q1, beginning of Q2, I believe, next year.
Do we have any images we can show?
Not off the top of my head. Acura Scale haven't actually emailed me any at the point of starting the stream. But I do know that on the Rails of Sheffield website, they have shared some pictures from Acura Scale. So I'm really looking forward to that. And in some respects, I know that people will be like, oh no, another delay, another delay. I think a lot of people will also secretly breathe a sigh of relief that they got a little bit longer to save up, because 2020, what a year this has been for all the models that are coming out. But the Hatton's Genesis project has certainly been an eye-opener here towards the end of the year, because it's just unreal, the actual quality that I'm seeing with the they've been showing some 3D scans like CADs that you can kind of interact with, the different liveries. I think that this is going to be an expensive year coming for a lot of people. Now, I was promised by Hatton's the opportunity to review the Genesis coaches. I think they're sending over the samples either end of this week or very beginning of next week, and we're going to film that, and we're going to get something out to show you guys the actual models in the flesh. And I think I'm right in saying that it will be the first opportunity to see them running on an actual model railway. So we're going to get a lot of footage of them running in that kind of an environment with appropriate locomotives. But I'm really, really excited about that. And a word to the wise, my prediction is that certain liveries are going to sell out very quick. If the BR departmental coaches are a must-have for you, get your order in, because otherwise you may miss out, because they are sure to prove popular. I believe that the London, Brighton and South Coast livery coaches may also be big sellers, because there are a lot of locomotives come through. We've seen the Terriers in the improved engine green from both Hornby, and we've got upcoming from Rails of Sheffield as well. A little bit more about that later on. So LBSC, I think what you're going to find is if you want those, get your order in, because they are sure to sell out quickly. I think as well that the South Eastern and Chatham Railway one might be strong sellers, because there's a lot of locomotives to go with them. But then there's also a few others that just look amazing, blow me away with the how they look. I think the Great Western ones are going to be big sellers as well. So really it's a case of you're going to have to bite the bullet and get an order in, otherwise there is a risk that you could miss out. What else has been going on in the news? Well, I just told you a little bit there about the Terriers, the Rails of Sheffield Terrier, the Southern liveried version. I think it's number 2644 or 2640, one or the other. That particular Terrier in the Southern Munsell Green has just been released. We've also had the Great Western Railway, the shirt button livery, that's out. The WCPR one is out as well. We're still waiting on the sound. They are imminent, and Rails of Sheffield have very kindly offered to let me review the sound Terrier when it does show up. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's what I've always said with the Terriers. If you want sound, there really is only one option to go to, just to go the Rails of Sheffield route. Right, I am so far behind. I'm going to make an executive decision. I hope that the Cupboard Monkey has been keeping an eye on the chat, and anything that I need to mention or name check.
Actually, I was just sending gifs of dogs eating pizza to people on Twitter.
Oh, what are you doing?
Why is it so dark on that screen?
That's really strange. That's the thing back there.
Hello?
Is it because you're blocking the light? That is strange. Why is...
Have you got all the lights on? My goodness.
Let me just see whether... It seems to be struggling.
It's really not happy tonight, is it?
No. So let's just lose that one for now. I think I maybe need another light over there. It's something to have a little think about. But certainly, Minnie with Aston Junction says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, hit the like button, guys. Zoe needs her pizza." We also need 400 concurrents in the chat room. We're just under 150 off that, actually. So do share on social media and let everybody know that we're live and that everybody is welcome.
I'm not going to get any pizza at this.
Steam Guy says, at Birkenhead Town Hall, there's a brilliant model recreation of Woodside Station. Hard to believe there was a time trains came from Paddington to my neck of the woods. Yeah, there's a lot of places where some actually quite huge stations have just disappeared, wiped off the face of the planet. I mean, I can think Nottingham Central as well. Nottingham Victoria. Gone, completely gone. There's just the clock tower, and there's stations like that where you think, what the heck were planners playing at? So many of these stations that these days would be so useful and would solve a lot of the transportation problems, and yet they just got swept away with short-sighted stupidity. Richard Swiderski says, Jen, will you be on the Hornby Mag virtual railway stream in October? Yep, if they invite me, I'll be there. So I believe that Richard Watson of New Junction is in the stream, so do drop me a line, and I'm more than happy to be involved with that. Josh's Train Room says, I'm looking forward to getting my Hattons GWR coaches. as I've seen the render of the GWR ones. Now, I'm really hoping that the Great Western Railway livery is one of the ones that Hatton send over a review sample to review, because that is a livery which I think is going to be incredibly popular. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. Big hello to Lifestyle Unleashed, says, we at Nwin's 3D Models have launched a new fully built railway product. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Wired up and ready to run with a Loco in stock. Check out the Nwin's 3D Models Facebook page. Now, I did promise that I would share a link to that, so just give me one moment and I will get that into the stream. Where's it gone? There we are.
While you're doing that, Naive Gave says, does anyone have any suggestions of good ways of attaching circuit boards or electronics to underneath boards or bench frameworks? Hot glue?
Oh, no. The god of zip ties is your friend. Just like drill little holes and make a loop with the zip ties and put them through. That's a good way of doing it.
The amount of stuff you've attached with those is amazing.
Oh yeah, I am the goddess of zip ties. So
I thought you were the queen of speed modelling. You can't be
well,
both.
yeah, that as well. Right, I've just put a link into the chat room, and that's for the Nwin's 3D models, the 4B1. And this is actually another exciting new project for those people who, who may be, the ultimate in procrastination, which means basically putting it off. But yeah, definitely, if you've always wanted to put together a model railway and you're frightened of where you begin, Nwin's 3D Models has brought out this new 4x1 concept where you can specify either the bare baseboard with track right up to a fully finished model railway. The idea is to keep it simple but effective, all electrified points, and you can specify the version to suit you. So if you want to just launch straight into scenery, you can get the bare bones model with the track and the baseboard and the wiring all done and launch straight into the scenery. Or if you just want a complete working out of the box model railway with stock and locomotive, then they've got you covered for that as well. So do check out the link that I've just put into the chat room as well.
Gronkston Model Railway says use extra sticky, heat-resistant sticky pads.
Yes, yeah,
they'll
definitely
attach it. Yeah.
I think I'm. Oh yeah. Naive Gauge says, "Yep, I'm using zip ties. Thought there might be a better way."
There probably is, but Jen hasn't found one.
There's lots and lots of different means, but sometimes the cheapest and simplest can often be the best. David Cook says, Jenny, check out the SS1 shuttle unit from Block Signalling. Mine is fantastic and cheap. Yeah, I will have to have a look out for that. Yeah, James Suxton Life says cables, zip ties as well. Don Gets Model Railway says you can get little screw-on feet. There's answer to something else as well. It's been asked further back. Ben Davis, can't wait to see who review on Hatton's original Genesis coaches. I know that there are at least two of us who have been asked if we wanted to do a review, and it's like, yeah, the survey says yes, of course I do. So it'll be myself and Sam's Trains, but I will be taking a view of showing them on the actual model railway, showing them in a model rail environment, and trying to really show them to their best how they will look in a model rail environment. So I'm really looking forward to being able to do that. Gary Wicklow, staple zip ties under, but yeah, that's another way of doing it. Get yourself a staple gun as well. Don't staple gun the wires directly because you'll end up...
you'll cause a short.
You'll just put the thing straight through them. But if you staple gun a zip tie into a loop, you can do it that way as well. But a staple gun has so many uses on building a model railway. I now don't know how I ever managed without that. That's actually Les's, who will want it back at some point.
Yeah, and after lockdown, he'll get it back.
Old Double Art says procrastination is the thief of time. Very much.
Clive Cobalt says, what is the Class 31 diesel loco running around the layout?
It's what's it called? North Yorkshire Moors Railway. It's a Hornby Super Detail Class 31. It is actually fitted with a Zemo sound chip for a Class 31. But I don't really run the sound chips because they do get quite overpowering. Big hello to Wardle Road. Great to see you in the chat as well. And everybody, don't forget to share the stream and let everybody else know that we are live, dangerous, and everybody is welcome to join in. John Slade says, can I operate a Model Railway with a 12-volt battery, drill battery? Yes, you can, but if you connect it direct to the tracks, the trains will zip off at full speed. What you need is some way of controlling that voltage to the track. And given the cheapness of things like even the Hornby budget train set controllers, there is a lot of cheap things on the market. Bachmann have got their own version as well. There's the Gauge Master Series E controller is pretty cheap and really good. I would say that just hot wiring a battery drill battery even to the track is probably not going to be the most controllable. Right, I think I am well behind here.
You usually are, yeah.
Let's change the
Eric
angle.
Hall says, evening all, could anyone tell him what the track voltage should be on his N-gauge layout?
If you're running DCC, it does depend on the system a little bit, but at the moment we're running here with the DCC Concepts Alpha Power Base booster unit. And with the alpha meter, which I've got down here, it's currently showing 17.9 volts on the track, but usually hovers around the 18 volt mark. I believe that your DCC decoders are rated up to something like, I think it's 25 or 30 volts. So they will absorb a few little spikes going on there. But I'm guessing around the 18 volts is absolutely fine. Pork Chop Express, hi to you. Mike and Sue Putnam Junction, love a bit of fresh air, Flymo. We were busy sorting ours out today too. Just as well we have Monday Club to recover with. Oh, you're so sweet, all of you. Let's have a look. Retired Leo, Jen, any EMUs? I do actually. I've got a class 401, a class 402. Both Hornby models, and I actually quite like them, even though commercially they weren't very successful when they were brought out, and a lot of them did end up getting remaindered. I think I paid £63 a pop for each of mine. I've also got a Class 411, that's the Bachmann 4-car Class 411. Really like that. I bought a first release of that back when, back in the days when they cost 90 quid, remember that? I've also got a Class 419, I think it is, which is the motor luggage van. What other electric EMUs do I have? I think that's the full house. I know I'd really love to get a Class 423 as well, and possibly a Class 403, which of course is the Bournemouth Bell, or no, the Brighton Bell. Today's beverage of choice is, we're still on the Diet Coke. I've actually discovered that quite by accident I've given up all the alcoholic stuff. I just haven't had a drink in weeks, and you know what, I didn't miss it. Going to the Dog says, evening all, going for the record tonight. Yes, because the Cupboard Monkey wants pizza and we need 400 concurrents to get there. I don't think we are actually. We're at 271. A big hello to all of you. Welcome along to the Monday Club. Always great to have all you guys in. Don't forget, tickle the like button, share the stream on social media too, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. There, Lane, Stephen Price, hi to you. Tony Simmons says double-sided sticky tape should work. Now, I've always found with sticky tape, it does seem to lose its sticky over time. So I personally wouldn't recommend that as a long-term solution. Big hello to Not Lobia Model World. If you're in, I just seen Flymo Channel 1 has mentioned you there. Chris Hales, Heritage Railway. Hello to you. Oh, Not Lobia Model World, no rush, only teasing. You are in the house. I'm keeping it safe and firing staples into all sorts of things. But I love this stapler. Please tell me where you got it from, because I want one of my own. It really is great.
Garthian says, did Zoe move the TARDIS from beside the pillbox? No. No, it moves on its own. I don't move it.
It's not actually in shot at the moment. Right. Let's see what else. Lifestyle Unleashed. I love seeing that Garrett going around. The Garrett is amazing. In fact, we're just about to see the end of the garret there. So I'm going to change camera angles, and this Elgato Stream Deck is great for this. As you can see, I can
You are in love with it.
I am. I've wanted one since Ollie at Wardle Road recommended it, and the cupboard monkey's like, oh no, I don't see how that's worth the money. And it's like, it is. So yeah, that is, and I can just very quickly follow it round the layout. So if I go to this camera angle, you can now see it come back into view. I quite like this, the fact that we can follow a train all the way around the layout very, very easily. The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout, big hello to you. Dr. Dolly, hi to you. Baker's R Junction, just had my Daypole 68 in direct rail arrive from Rails of Sheffield. Now, a lot of people talking about the Daypole Class 68, saying great things about them. And I must admit, because it's post-privatisation, it's a little bit off my radar. But I do feel that actually it's one that's worth reviewing, because it does sound like that is an absolutely superb model. New Junction, Wamgok says 277. I've got 278 at the moment. We're going to have to try harder if the cupboard monkey wants to eat tonight. DB194, any chance of running a Class 37? I can start one up. So there we are. There's the sound of a Class 37 firing up. But not at the moment. It's really hot up here, it has to be said, even with our rudimentary air conditioning. So I'll just turn that off because it I get bored of
Gronk it up.
Don't want to train. I've lost my train of thought now. You derailed my train of thought.
Well, put it back on the track then.
But Redvers B, the Bayer Garrett looks like the ghost of a Loco. It's actually in Workshop Photographic Grey. Let's see, is that the...
Ghost of a Loco is definitely the title of your new album.
Oh, there we are. Now it's fixed itself. I don't know what's been going on with that camera. It just decided to go into low light mode. So that's not the best camera, I have to say, on the layout. That was a kind of a freebie that we acquired. We just gifted the camera.
Rule 1
So
Model Railway says Gronk Fest 2020. Yes, we need a Gronk Fest.
Maybe,
Gronk it
right,
up.
tell you
Gronk
what.
it up.
Whoa. Next week, shall we have an official Gronk Fest?
Yes.
Where it's like all Gronks all the time. Nothing but Gronks shall run.
All Gronks, no waiting.
Yeah. So I'll basically run nothing but Gronks next Monday. How many of you guys could get behind that idea?
I love it.
Ed Toll, evening to you. New Junction, says hi Chris. DL Warren, sorry I'm late. What have I missed?
You're never late. A Monday Club member is never late, nor
No,
are
they're
they
just
early.
fashionably on
They
time.
arrive precisely when they mean to.
Big hello to O O'Neill as well. Bear Lane, Stephen Price. Garthian says you'll have to see what load the SLW Class 24 can haul when you get a chance, and yes, you do have permission to do so. I will do. When I do the review on it, I will do a haulage test. Rule 1 Model Rails, yeah, the Gronk Fest. I think actually people getting behind the idea of
Yeah,
Gronk
everyone's
Fest.
in Gronks, and then Map the Dragon Railway says, with a Sentinel intruder.
I've only got... actually, no, I do have Sentinels. Yeah, we will sort of... I think next Monday we will do Gronk Fest 2020.
Yay.
Don Gets Model Railway says that camera's still flickery though. It is a bit. I'm going to change camera angles there. So, is it changing? There we go. Lifestyle Unleashed asks, are we not living in a particularly good time for great model quality in such a massive variety at the present time? Thoughts? Very much so. I have to say, I do think that we're kind of, I don't like to use the word spoiled, but certainly there is a lot of choice out there. I think 2020, I've never known so many on-the-money releases to come out in any one year. And I think I've bought more locomotives during this year than I have in any previous years. And a lot of them are fairly new releases. So, you know, things like the Terriers. We've been spoilt rotten on Terrier liveries. But then also the Hornby 00 Duchess of Athol is another one. So pleased to be able to get that. 24-1 from Bachmann, so pleased to get that as well. And a lot of rolling stock as well. So I have spent a fortune this year. And with the Hatton's Project Genesis coaches on the way, still waiting for the W1. Now, I am told, I think AD Pullen did let me know that they'd heard a rumour that the painted samples had arrived at Hornby. Hornby's not officially released a post that I've seen about that yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing them. I do have the original version of the Hush Hush in Workshop Photographic Grey on order. Did have to do a bit of a shuffle to get that. We did cover the breaking... Sorry, I've got hiccups there. The breaking news with the Hornby no longer being stocked by Rails. But certainly, I managed to get one ordered from Hatton's. So I do hope those of you who lost out on the pre-orders for the W1 from Rails of Sheffield, hope you did manage to find somewhere else as well. Real One Model Railways, hi to you. Garthian wants a Salsa Fest as well, Salzburger Fest. Or Salsa even. But yeah, I think Gronk Fest. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying Gronk Fest. Gronk Fest. Yeah, let's start at that hashtag. Start sharing that hashtag. It's like hashtag Jenny Monday Club. With hashtag GronkFest 2020. Let's whip up some support, and we will go all Gronks all the time next Monday, and we can trail ahead for that as being GronkFest 2020.
Sounds good.
Melchester Model Railway. Jenny, do you get spiders in your loft? Occasionally, not really that many. There's like 1 or 2 house spiders, but no more so than in the rest of the house. Wamgok says, what's a Gronk? A Gronk is ostensibly a Class 8 locomotive. It's a nickname, mostly because that's the sound they make when they move. They sort of go like Gronk, Gronk, Gronk. And it's a mixture of the kind of the clanking of the rods, but also the beat from the engine, and that's where they got their nickname from. Andrew Boone, another one, +1 there for Gronkfest. Yes, Robin Slewer, this is the best hobby I could have got into. Absolutely right. It is a great hobby. Tony Simmons says you should do these shows twice a week. More pizzas for Zoe. Well, we're only on 286. You need to share on social media.
I'm sorry, but I would be so
Bring
fast.
people in. Yeah. Garthian, do a Salsa Fest the week after. Get my 24 on a passenger train. I'm trying to think. Salsa Fest would be it would be all Type 2s, wouldn't it? What else had a Salsa engine? What bigger locomotive? Somebody remind me, because my mind's gone blank. We'd have 24s, 25s, I think 26s, 27s. What else do we have? Salsery. What else had a Salsa engine? Oh, it would have the 44, 45 and 46, would they not have been Salsas as well? Gronkston Model Railway, I'm into Gronks. Not a fetish, but they are a very justful engine. Better than Thomas. Tim J.D. Dowd, Wamgok, Gronk is the nickname for the Class 8, Class 9 diesel shunter. I'm guessing the Class 10, 11s, 12s would also have the nickname Gronks. I would also guess that Class 13 would be a Super Gronk, maybe.
We need a Super Gronk. Does it have a cape?
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's not good then,
but
isn't it?
certainly, I think the only place I know that you can just buy one is Olivia's Trains. Do build them to order. J94, I like Gronks. I should get another one in OO gauge. You can never have too many Gronks. Ben Davis says, hi Jennifer, any news on Hornby Steampunk? Still looking forward to that. The release should be imminent. Hornby has set up the actual Facebook page. That is set up, and I can only assume that things are imminent because it's starting to build a buzz. But I will check with Montana Hearn at Hornby and try and find out if there is a specific release date for that. Now, Hornby did promise me way back in January that they would send me some of the steampunk models to be able to review and have a play about with. And actually, I quite fancy making a little tiny, pure steampunk vibe model railway, and I'm very, very influenced on that, obviously, by Laurie Calvert, who is the designer of the Hornby Bassett Load steampunk range.
We need to see it. We need to see him.
Yeah, but I quite fancy. You may remember the video I did it with the DCC Concepts power base, and I managed to run a locomotive upside down. And I've got this idea in my head of making an Escher-inspired steampunk railway model, and I think that could be something quite special. St Mary Church Model Railway, hi to you. David Morton as another one for the Gronk Fest. Pork Chop Express, Hythe Kent, Growler Blackwood Engaged Layout, Kev McKay 85, waiting for Hush 2021. Thanks for breaking the news on that with Rails of Sheffield. Absolutely welcome. It's an unfortunate state of affairs, it has to be said. And I would like to think that Hornby and Rails can get back together in the future. Retired Elio says, how do you keep all that track clean? I use Pico track rubbers, but actually, as one of them there, and actually it doesn't need as much of a scrub as you might think.
And you don't keep it as clean as you'd like because you keep getting trains that stick.
Jackie LFC Gerard, hi to you as well. Canadian Rail fan, Jenny, do you reckon we'll get S160 from Hornby? I think Bachmann could also be a contender on that, but certainly I think it will come. Clive Cobold, hi Jenny, I'm waiting on the Helgen Class 860 electric locomotive to come out. I have 3 on order. That is another one that I am looking forward to as well. Russell Benton, yay, Saltsa feature. I vote for that. Yeah, Hythe Kent as well. Mo Henry, Gronk, as we said before, nickname for the Class 8, Class 9 and derivative diesel shunters. Melchester Model Railway, why don't you ask people to send in videos just of Gronks? That's a good idea. For next week, next Monday, if you want to have your layout featured on the Monday Club, send the link to your YouTube video of Gronks in action. We'll make it a theme for next week for Gronk Fest 2020. Send your videos of your Gronks running on your model railway to Zoe at zoerobinson.com, and that's Zoe spelt the Greek way, which is just Z-O-E, no erroneous Y's on there. Big hello to Savan Kumar. DL Warren, the rare occasion that I pre-order anything, I get it direct from the manufacturer. It's a bit more expensive, but I feel a bit safer knowing there's not a third party involved. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, up until the Rails thing, I would have probably said, oh no, yeah, I think it's a bit of an expensive way of doing it. But it does seem that if there's something that is a real must-have item for yourself, then perhaps that is a safe way to actually to go. Tim JD Dowd, where does everybody get the money from to pay for all these models everyone's buying? I don't know, sell a kidney. It has been...
You just work really, really hard.
I do a lot of overtime at work, it has to be said. I am quite lucky that I do have a fairly well-paid job, but it is an expensive hobby. There is no getting away from that. But it's one of the reasons that over a few weeks we've done a couple of videos now, top 5 best value ready to run models. We did a Steam one. The Cupboard Monkey's going to link to them in the comments for you just to remind you of them. But we did the 5 best value, in my opinion, Steam outline locomotives able to buy brand new, ready to run. So these are things that are on extreme sale. And that I think offer great value for money to the modeler. And then we've also done a diesel one, which I think was last Friday. So there are still some great bargains to be had out there, but it has to be said that the bargains are getting fewer and further apart. And it's probably a case of get them while you can, because when they do eventually go, they will be gone for good. A bit like the Bachmann K3. I know you can still get that in the L&ER livery from Rails of Sheffield. We did have an affiliate link, I believe, on that particular video that we reviewed that. The BR one has sold out, although they may be able to find them at Kernow Model Centre, so always worth a look around. And that was a great value for money locomotive. The K1 from Hornby was out and about at a great value, but I think that's sold out now. And one that wasn't in my top 5 was the Lancashire and Yorkshire Aspinall Radial. Rails of Sheffield still have them at £69 in the early British Railways livery, and really that is an amazing price for what is a really great locomotive.
Now, Jenny, I have a question.
Yes?
Next week for Gronk Fest 2020, will you be running the Gronk that has my name on it?
Yes, I will.
Yay.
I will do that. PH's Railway Videos. Hi
I'll be
to
back
you.
soon.
Steam Guy, I'm surprised there's never been any models of the class 502s and the 503s. Yeah, the sort of Merseyrail electrics are these, and also the ones that went around Manchester. Or what about the Tyne and Wear electrics? There's definitely a lot still to be modelled in a lot of the electric areas. I mean, we still haven't seen ready to run class 81, 82, 83 or 84. And you know, if you discount the old Triang model and the old Hornby Double Up model, we've never really seen them. So there's still a huge gap in the market for them. And there's a lot of EMUs as well, which we've not seen. Bachmann are starting to plug a few unusual gaps by doing the minor variants of things like the Class 411, which is a good starting point. But they're so expensive, absolutely expensive. I think as well there's an awful lot of steam outline prototypes as well, which I really would love to see. Some of the LNER ones, things like the the J92, I think it is. It could be J92 or J93, the crane tanks. There's certainly a lot of interesting models that they could still be yet to do. There's North London Railway tank locomotives as well, the kind which later ended up on the Cromford and High Peak. And there is a surviving example as well, and I believe that a preserved example always helps to make manufacturers consider them. So I'm really hoping that the North London tanks make it into model form sometime soon. But also some of the LNER 8-coupled locomotives that I would love to see. So things like the, I want to say Q1, but certainly there's one which looks like a Robinson 8K, but minus that front bogie. And some of them were also converted into an 8-coupled tank locomotive, and I'd love to see that turn up. The Wath Daisies, the hump shunting locomotives, would be really interesting to see that. Or the, I think it's the U1 Garrett, which was the LNER's Garrett. That would be another interesting one. Never say never. I believe that the Helgen Bayer Garrett in the LMS liveries has certainly been successful. So never say never. I think Helgen probably have already got a bit of design work in hand on that. And when the time is right, I would not be surprised to see that turn up from Helgen. But it has to be said, I don't have any inside track on that. Just a little bit of speculation. Minnie with Staston Junction, saying hello to people. Lifestyle Unleashed, the bargain videos were good. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Jeff Unsworth, talking DMUs, I would love to see the Class 124 Trans-Pennine unit. Absolutely, that is another one that I would love to see. The Trans-Pennine units, the Class 124s, very distinctive front face on those. Did work into Manchester Exchange Station an awful lot back in the day. And that I totally in agreement on you with that. I'd love to see that as well. Hi Kelly, just to warn you, next week Jenny is doing a Gronk Fest. Yeah, we're going to do Gronk Fest 2020 next Monday here on the Monday Club. Hashtag Jenny Monday Club. I don't know what happens with these hashtags. Do they actually do anything? Wangok says, Zoe, I've had my pizza. Come on, guys. We've only got 279 people here. We need to get up to 400, and then I will treat the cupboard monkey with a pizza. I don't think we're going to get there. Big hello to Gronkston. Stuart Muir, hire Jenny a class 310 EMU would be brilliant. Heads up by Ben Ando. Going to the dogs. Jenny, do you know when the trains for you Warflat would be available? I don't. I'm sorry. EH's railway videos. Personally, I'd like to see a K2 done. The Furnace Railway doesn't get enough models, in my opinion. Very much. There's so many different locomotives that have never been done. I know I did go and get asked by somebody, oh, do you think they'll ever run out of models to do? The short answer is no. There are so many interesting prototypes out there that, you know, we've named a few there. The K2, the U1 Garrett, Q1, the T1 and T2 tank locomotives. What else? North London tanks. The J92 and 93s, the crane tanks. There are so many interesting locomotives that could be done. I think that, we're talking about decades before we run out of things. Right, I'm well behind. Steam Guy says, I try and keep a positive outlook even in these uncertain times. While there's been an increase of COVID-19, there's not been many reported deaths, so who knows, it might be developing into the flu. Yeah, very much. I think there's some degree of immunity starting to creep into the population, which is great. Liam at New Mills Model Railway, what's the castle on the outside loop? It's actually a king. I think it's something like King James II, but I couldn't swear to that. Kelly Ashford, sorry, I'm not watching properly. Well, we've got a king, a Great Western Railway king on the outside line. Just for you. In fact, you're just seeing it there, swizz by with the Class 31 as well. J94, imagine a GWR steam rail motor in double O gauge. Although actually, yes, the North Eastern Railway rail motor. I think Hornby Magazine have got an exclusive. I know that they've certainly got some photos of the model, which I really want to get some photos of. We're waiting for an opportunity to photograph it. But by all intents and purposes, it is exquisite. So really looking forward to that. Let's have a look. St Mary Church Mother Railway just picked up a Hunt class, £55 brand new. There are still some really great bargains out there. And absolutely correct, Malcolm Phillips. I had some good discount at Tony's Trains in Rugby 2 weeks ago when I drove up from South Wales. There's a lot of great bargains in some of the model shops as well. Don't forget as well, people like Tim at Arcadia Models. A big up to the Arcadia Models posse. Not been in there for far too long because of COVID. But certainly I do want to swing by there. If you do go in, tell Tim that I sent you. Say hi to him for me. I do need to get down there because Tim has a really great value second-hand table where I have all the traded in models and they are priced to sell. Believe me, you get some great bargains from there. Canadian Rail fan, myself, I'd like to see North London tank and the Q1 class and definitely S160. The Q1 has already been done. The coffee pot, there's the Bulliard coffee pot, definitely already been done. Robin Slewer says a small blue police box appeared on my layout. Nobody's layout is complete without it, I have to say. Ben Tullett, I still haven't heard if I can go back to the Severn Valley Railways. My department was shut down before lockdown due to someone falling from height. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope they're all right. DB194, the Little Bagnall Shunters, Alfred and Judy would be great models. I believe actually you might need to keep an eye out for the Bachmann Thomas the Tank Engine range. There might be some great models in that. Tony Simmons, yes, I have got a Class 121 DMU. It's not in blue grey, it's just in plain blue as Thunderbird 1, I think it is. Kelly Ashford, yes, the Kings are larger. Liam at New Mills Mother Railway, I always get the Kings and Castles mixed up. Yeah, easily done, easily done. The big giveaway is the front bogie because it has like inside and outside frame depending on which wheel you're lining up with. Ben Davis says, Jennifer, I would love it if Hornby did a Monsell Z neutrals. Yeah, I think there's a lot of great locomotives that would really be great to see. Tim Condrup says, I am getting Hornby Battle of Britain 92 Squadron and can't wait. They are great locomotives, actually. I've got a spam can up here somewhere. What I really would like to get is a rebuilt West Country class. I've still not seen one on the market yet at a reasonable price. J94, I've only seen 6,000. The NRM owned one with a big bell on the front of it. So I've come in halfway through there. J94 says, I love my Q1. It is a great model, actually, it has to be said. I like my Q1 as well.
What says about a big bell on the end?
J. Paul Anderson, what about a Thompson Q1? Is that the 8-coupled one? I could be getting confused. Maybe it's a Q4. I think it's a Q4 I was talking about before. But yeah, definitely. The only 8-coupled LNER locomotive that's been done is the Q6. And when I say 8 club, as in 080, it's only the Q6. So there's still a lot of them to be done. And when you think the things like J94, J11, the J category, which is actually 060, they went up to J94. I know there were a few missing in between the 060s with tenders and the 060 tank locomotives, but the tank locomotives alone started at J50 and went up to J94. That is a lot of locomotives, and how many of them have actually been produced in model form? I can off the top of my head only think of the J11, the J15, the J36, J39, but that could do with an update, J50, J94. Have I missed any out?
I don't know, but Rule 1 Model Railways is saying naughty cupboard monkey. What have you been saying about me to make people think I'm naughty?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Is this me asking about which train had a bell on the end?
Oh yes, probably. Yes, keep it clean.
I was asking what they were on about.
Canadian Rail Fan says, just bought myself Olivia Trains Class 13. I'm quite jealous actually. I would like an Olivia's Trains Class 13. However, they are quite expensive. I mean, normally if you have
everything in this hobby is expensive.
Yeah, very much so. But it's kind of custom built to order. So I they always say if you have to ask, you can't afford it. But I am curious. So I'm not used to wearing necklaces. This keeps twizzling around. It's really annoying. I am curious how much they are these days.
Where'd you get that? That's a new
I just out of
necklace.
the drawer downstairs.
Wow. I've seen it for a long time then. My dear, would you like some Coke?
Yeah, there's still some left in there.
Yes, but this one's cool.
Well, finish that with you. Just Coke me up. Jack says, hey Jennifer, hi to you. Simon Trains MRS would have been the Severn Valley Railway Autumn Steam Gala this weekend, sadly cancelled. Yeah, we felt very lucky. I mean, when we went yesterday to Statfold Barn, the event that they were doing, I think everybody very much knew that that was like the final event of the year because of this tightening of the lockdown. I'm guessing a lot of events are going to get cancelled. We're going to see a lot more virtual model railway exhibitions. I know that there's the Worley one that's currently in the offing. The Hornby magazine, one of the great electric...
And of course the one that you did.
Yep, the one I did. A great electric train show, I believe, is going virtual. And there's even already talk that Alexandra Palace next year could end up having to be virtual as well. Nothing firm on that yet. They are keeping their options open.
J94 says it's the Great Western King class Loco number 6000 at the National Railway Museum. It's got a massive bell on it.
Right, I'm with you. Right, so that Matt cleared up that mystery, yeah. I know I'm getting behind again as well.
What a surprise. Jenny is behind on the chat.
Garthian, absolutely right. J70, the Model Rail Special Commission, aka Toby the Tram Engine. Yes. Oh, and the J72, missed that out. So there are a few of those particular locomotives that have appeared, but you think how many others are missing. Now, we are going to get the J27 from Oxford Rail. I understand, again, another bit of news, and this is being gleaned indirectly through somebody who got an email from Hattons. So it's not being gleaned direct from Oxford Rail, but the J27 is rumoured to have been put back again. So it's verging on, I think it's verging on 18 months to 2 years late, something like that. It does seem to be taking a lot of time. Of course, hot on its heels, we should expect the J26, I think it is as well. So we are starting to fill in some of the gaps, but as you can imagine, there is still a huge way to go. Now, we've only got 273 people in. I have to say, I think because of the nice weather, there's a lot of people off doing other things at the moment, but surely we'll pick up a lot of views on the as people watch it over the course of the next week or so. But Cupboard Monkey, you're not getting a pizza.
No.
Mark Holt, does anybody know when the Hornby APT is due? Again, I think a lot of things have been put back, but I couldn't tell you for certain.
How apt.
Robert Waters, Jenny, have you bought yourself a Dapol Gronk yet? I haven't, no. I keep looking longingly at the Intercity liveried one. And I'll be honest with you, I would love to get the Daypol Class 8 in O gauge. It's just simply money. As you can imagine with this hobby, if you bought everything that you wanted, it gets very expensive indeed. So I really, at the moment, I can't justify the cost. I think it's about 200, around the £200 mark, something like that. Which for O gauge is an incredibly good value price. In fact,
actually, that's a good point. For O gauge, that is decent. We used to talking about 4, 6, even 800.
For O gauge locomotives, you used to actually end up having no change out of £1,000. So Daypol have really opened up the market considerably, it has to be said. However, that is a lot of money, and I really can't justify it at the moment because I've got the W1 on order. I've also got a load of the Southeastern and Chatham Railway 3D printed vans from Rails of Sheffield. I just reminded myself I do have some news on that front as well. Any of you have ordered those vans, they have been 3D printed, but they are waiting for a slot to be painted and decorated at Daypol. So that program and that project is moving forward, but that's where it's up to at the moment. So hopefully we will see them at some point soon, but of course they got pushed back like so many things with COVID.
Andrew Johnson has a very interesting point here. I enjoyed the virtual model railway exhibition, as living out of the UK, I was able to partake in something I never would have been able to get to. That's a really good point. I think it's something that should be borne in mind for future years. We did it, I think we all started doing it because of lockdown, but actually it means that more people can see more things, so perhaps it's something that should keep going.
I'm absolutely in agreement with you on that, and I think that there is room for a permanent fixture of a virtual model railway exhibition. And now one of the things I would say, as another YouTuber, it does occasionally come into the chat, it may even be there somewhere, it might de-lurk and go, oh, I feel my ears burning. But Callum Wilcox, aka SDJR 7F88, I always have to think about that, but it's SDJR 7F88, has been posting videos from previous years' model exhibitions that he's been to. So if you are feeling that you need your daily dose of a vitamin model rail exhibition,
is that vitamin M?
Something like that, then Callum over at SDJR7F88, I hope I've got that right, has been putting up quite a few of these, so you can, at least relive happier times before all this social distancing. The only thing it can't simulate is being smacked in the face by a dirty rucksack.
Or the smell.
No, most people actually have worked out.
There's a certain smell you get in a.
Oh, I thought you were talking
when you've got lots of layouts with the glues drying and the hot room. I think that's the only thing you can't have. So maybe sit in your own model railway and watch it.
Yeah, Mark Wilson says views are down as the football's back. Football. Oh, the cupboard monkey's not getting any pizza for a while.
Jen, I've just had a thought.
What?
We need to try and do a game of table football with model railways. Get some really old, clunky, proper, solid model trains, ones that won't have bits fall off them. And then try and score goals.
Oh dear. Garthian asks, how many people would purchase an industrial Garrett? They look a lot closer in appearance to the first one, K1, but a standard gauge, not too fun. I think there is a market for them. I think they would be really, really good.
Leslie Gilpin says, I agree, Zoe, but I wasn't thinking of the smell of the layouts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Now, there's a certain scent you get from this stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just scrolling back a little bit because I've missed a load of comments. AMAC says, hi, Shank to the Watercress Line channel. They have done a video on Gronks. So, yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Let's have a look. J70, J. Paul Anderson says, exactly, J72, though not strictly a tank engine. Yeah, I think most people would class it as that. It is a tramway engine, but underneath all that, it is a tank engine.
Thomas the Tank.
Yeah.
Like a giant Sherman with a happy face on it.
Yeah. Canadian Railfan says, birthday treat for myself. I will not say the price, but double price of Hornby Class 8. Yeah, then, and the extra bit. Kelly Ashford says, I'm building up a collection of 6 centenary Christmas OO wagons, plus my acquaintance Paul is on the hunt for a Shakespeare Express train set. Sadly, the model shop shut last year. The Holton Model Centre in Bolton actually had boxed Shakespeare sets, the Bachman ones, by the dozen. He had loads, and I don't know where all that stock has gone. Paul Hinder suggests running sessions just start from class 01 to 20 1 week, second week class 21 to 40, third week class 41 to 60. You get the idea. And Steam Locos, you could do 040, 042, 044. Yeah. All ideas. Jack asks, Jennifer, any new plans for the layout? Not for this layout, but certainly I would say that I've got a lot of plans for some small self-contained layout builds. Still want to do that Festiniog themed layout in preparation for the Cato stroke Pico, a small England locomotives getting released. But also steampunk Escher inspired layout. I've got an idea for that. And I think that that's the way to go with projects. Quick, simple and easy, and showing that people, no matter what space you've got available, you can build a model railway.
You can do it.
Yeah. Right. Crossways Point Junction. I sympathise here. I am in my loft running some trains and it's 27 degrees. I dread to think what temperature is up here. KTM asks, where is that TARDIS? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention where the cupboard monkeys.
I haven't moved it anywhere. The doctor has moved it.
Well, okay, as if you would. Gronkston Model Railway. I love that name. DC Kits did around a dozen brass kits for shunters that none of the manufacturers have done. The kits are around £120 each, but doesn't not include paints, transfers, so you're looking at £140 plus. And of course, painting the model is probably the hardest part. Big hello to Angus's Trains. Great to have you in as well. Apparently as well, Olivia's Trains are showing the Class 13 is out of stock due to lack of donor Class 8s. So I suspect it's a case of finding them second hand now. Patricia Cotterhill, hi, what is a good gift to get someone new to the hobby? I guess the best thing I always say to people when people say like, oh, you're into trains, what should I get you? Always ask the person, say, well, what do you want? Because they will know exactly what it is they want. And if they give you a few different options, then that can be a good way of buying them something exactly what they want. But I would suggest that actually have a look at some of the bargain locomotives that are out there. I think everybody loves a locomotive. But if you're not familiar with what they model or what their interests lie, then there is a high risk of actually getting something that's not particularly of interest to them. So I would urge, always ask a modeler, say, you know, what sort of things are you interested in?
Well, we've got one solution here. Russell Benton says the solution to heat in your loft, move to Scotland.
Steam Guy says, I'm really looking forward to seeing LSL's HST set in the blue Pullman livery. I wonder if she'll be doing any test runs to Holyhead before her tour in November. Yeah, I saw that as well. That is a really eye-catching livery. Jay says, it seems that Dapol's future could be more in O gauge than 00. What do you think? We're still waiting for their large prairie tank. The D class is coming through as well. And the Mogul has been put back by 4 to 5 weeks, they said, due to an error being discovered in the finish. And they're being reworked at the factory. So there are plenty of 00 models coming through. I think that O gauge is certainly a big part of Dapol's itinerary, but don't discount the 00 or indeed the N gauge as well. You know, I think that they've got a good broad spread of models in 3 different scales. So I wouldn't say that they're stronger in one or another. I think that they've got a good range across the board. Ben Tullett says, Garthian, I would love an 009 scale narrow gauge Garrett when I start an 009 scale layout. Yeah, I think that the Garretts would be a great model. Now, we're going to get the double Fairley. We're also going to get the small England. So there is definitely a growing market in 009. Jack says, "Oh my God, that's a beautiful shot there." I'm presuming that that's the mountain shot. I haven't been keeping track of.
I can't remember the first one.
2007. Oh God, I'm well behind. It has to be said. I'm actually starving, hungry. We need to eat something.
Pizza.
Jeff Unsworth says, "Is a Helgen Class 17 on your radar, Jenny, or have you one already?" Yeah, I've already got a Helgen Class 17, it has to be said. I've got the Ribble Cement one that was done as a limited edition a good long time ago. However, I don't have a particular affinity to it. As a livery, I bought it actually to help a friend out. She was selling models that an ex had left in lieu of paying money owed on rent and stuff. So I bought it off her because it just seemed like a good way of helping her out. But what I'd actually really love is the Rail Blue Class 17. So, you know, anybody wants to swap, I'm sure we could work it out. But I'd swap a Ribble Cement Class 17 for a Rail Blue one. Tony Wright says, "My wallet is in danger of rigor mortis due to pre-orders of locomotives up to October 2021. I hear you there. I really do hear you. It's very expensive. Kev McKay 85 says, "The other thing that's at exhibitions, little kids running into you." I never got that problem, I have to say. Wiven Model Railway says, "Evening all. Great to see you there, Wiven." Kelly Ashford, "I never thought I'd be after a Shakespeare Express train set, but the videos of the train with Rude Ashton Hall up front are making me want it." Do have a hunt around, because I know it was on a bargain price offer. Try Kernow Model Centre. I believe that they certainly did have it on offer. And I'm trying to think anywhere else. But it's in a Kernow Model Centre. I did see them comparatively recently having that set at a good bargain price. So do have a hunt around. I think you can probably find it.
Okay, I've just had a very silly joke show up on my timeline.
Okay.
Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands?
Because they're extinct? Did I just guess correctly?
You're too good at this.
Canadian Rail Fan says, "Well, Olivia's train sent me email saying they're out of stock, so I've cancelled my order." Oh, shame about that. Donald Thompson, "I often get gift vouchers for my local model shop." Oh, that's a good idea. Our model North American, he doesn't cater for though. Oh, that's a shame. Kelly Ashford says, "The new large Prairie tank engine 00 gauge is available to buy in Chester Model Shop. Is that the Daypole one or the Hornby one?" I know the Hornby one's been out a while. I am actually waiting on the Daypole one. I'm very interested to see that because it has a few extra features. Canadian Rail Fan says, "I'm looking forward to next year with Hornby. I have a feeling it's going to be a good year." Definitely.
Like the blimp.
Rule 1 Model Railway says, "TARDIS behind the concrete boffy."
Yeah, a lot of people mentioned it.
Which one's the concrete boffy? Oh, you mean the bunker, the pillbox. NI Railways 4000 class. Very sorry I'm late, Jenny. No, you're fashionably on time. The rest of us were far too early. No, nobody's ever late for the Monday Club. Don't worry about it. I know the football's on, so we are competing with something that's always going to beat us hands down. Garthian says the TARDIS has been found by over 20 people now. Kelly Ashford, 2 tiny troublemakers are now among my steamies. They are Ruston Shunters. I've named my large Prairie tank engine after Sam's trains. Okay. He didn't seem to quite like it. He had he seems to have got a quality control dud on that. He was very unlucky, by all accounts, on his review. Father Christmas, get your lists in soon. I'll be very busy soon. Oh, Father Christmas. Oh, I'd like lots and lots of model railways and a huge, great big hamper full of pizzas. And I don't know why I'm going to.
Are you attempting to take off?
I am attempting takeoff. Yes. Mark Wilson says, "What do you call the dinosaur with one eye? Do you think he saw us?"
Whatever you want, they won't hear you.
I was right.
They were a very long time ago.
Jeff Unsworth says, "LOL, Mark." Oh dear, I think I'm up to date. Again, as I always say to you guys, if I've missed a question, I'm not ignoring you. It's just simply the comments come in so quickly that unfortunately I do tend to get stuff missed. Do we actually have any of people's videos coming up for later on?
I think we've got 1 or 2.
So don't forget as well, now's a great time to get your videos in for sampling some of your model railways, which we'll be doing in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the Monday Club. You can send the URL to your YouTube video. Don't send the video itself because it'll break the email and won't get through. Send it to Zoe at zoerobinson.com, and that's Zoe spelt the Greek way with the just Z-O-E. Don't add the diaresis. Yeah, the umlaut.
It's not an umlaut, it's a diaresis.
Diaresis, yeah.
An umlaut extends the speech of one letter. Diaresis means that you pronounce two vowels separately.
Right, okay. So when used in French, it's a diaresis. What you said.
Diaresis, yeah. It's an umlaut for if you're extending the letter like Latin or something like that.
No, because it would be like H-O-R would be whore, but H-O umlaut R would be her.
Okay.
Essentially, it adds an E after the vowel. Which is how you can actually do away with umlauts by just adding an E after the vowel. And you quite often see this with Hollywood actors who have umlauts in their name for whatever reason. When they're spelt in the credits, they just put an E in instead. Something I've noticed. Ben Tullett, I think you and everybody else, all I want for Christmas is coronavirus to get lost. Very much so.
Hey, speaking of viruses and things, has everyone heard the interesting news about Venus?
Oh, yes, yeah.
The UK astronomers may have found evidence of bacterial life on Venus. Well, not on Venus, in the air in Venus. And there is a habitable zone about, I think it's like 50 miles up.
You have to be very good at floating.
Yeah, which of course bacteria would be because they're quite light. So that's interesting. And now we've got to send a mission to Venus to have a look. But yeah.
Somebody sent another joke in. Where's it gone? It's gone off the top. Where's it gone? Ham Shackleton says, "What did the motor? Oh, it's just jumped. What did the motorist say to the hitchhiker with 3 arms, no arms and 1 leg?" I think that's a spell checker. 3 eyes. So 3 eyes, no arms, and 1 leg.
I don't know.
What the heck happened to you?
Okay, that's okay.
Ben Davis asks, have you seen the Wainwright D-Class livery samples of Rails of Sheffield? I've seen them actually, and I spoke with Oliver Davies and he says they've been very well received. So obviously there's a few little glitches that have been picked up on, which is the whole point of showing off the livery samples. So the biggie was the Monsell livery actually looks more like London and South Western Railway pea green. So obviously that has been discovered and sorted out. I actually really like the pea green one. I know it's completely unprototypical, but I did actually send an email to Oliver at Rails and went, you know, if that livery sample, if the physical model is going begging, you know, because, you know, I don't know what happens to them, but because it's completely wrong colour, I said I'd give it a home. I really like that livery. So I want it on record. I've got first dibs. If Rails of Sheffield genuinely goes, yeah, you know what, it's only going to go in the bin anyway, then I've got first dibs on that pea green D-Class. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, they've picked up on that. There's a couple of other minor things. I've not seen the models in the flesh. Obviously, coronavirus has made so many things so difficult. I dare say if it had been a normal year, we'd have had a full-on event of being able to go to Rails of Sheffield. We'd have probably been several times this year. And, you know, I really enjoyed the interview that we did with John, Oliver, and the rest of the guys there. And really honoured to have been given an Access All Areas tour. But you just sort of waved your hand in a sort of like...
No, I'm trying to work out why all my emails appear to have disappeared.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're logged into...
I am. There it is. Right.
Oh, how strange.
Okay, we only have 2 links this week.
That's okay.
Okay, apparently the punchline was, aye, you look harmless, hop in.
That's not one of your jokes.
I'd like to think my jokes are a bit different to that.
Shanghai 264359. Hi to you. Great to see you in. Mark Wilson, for a bit of fun, if I get the Hornby Coca-Cola train with extra few wagons and fit LED colour lights. Oh God, yeah, like the Christmas doesn't begin until Coca-Cola starts its marketing campaign, and somebody falls off the top of the Nagatomi Plaza as well. Great Christmas film. Apparently, according to Michael Warren, in French it's a tremor. Tremor? I think that's how I pronounced it. Right. Mark Wilson says, what is the most common owl in this country? It's a barn owl, isn't it? Or is it a snowy owl? Or a tawny owl? I don't know. I know
The
lots
tea towel. That was the punchline, Tim.
Oh, sorry. I was completely off the ball there. Railway fan, hi Jenny. I really do like the skyscape in the corner by Les. It looks so real. Oh, thank you very much. So, thank you. Yeah. Oh.
Check your text. Just yes or no.
No.
Okay. Right. Well, in that case, I have 2 videos that we can have a look at tonight.
Let's have a look. Garth Ian says, you will have a link from me sent sometime next week featuring a very special train in 16mm scale. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Pork Chop Express, I've just got some nice 3D printed stuff down over eBay from a company called 3D Plus. Have some nice stuff in Engage and OO. Have a look if anybody wants anything.
Ham Shackleton says, according to his local supermarket, Christmas has already started and they're selling mince pies. I like mince pies far too much.
The little chocolates you put on your Christmas tree, they're already selling them over the road at the co-op. It's unreal.
It's too much temptation for me.
Yeah, Die Hard is the best. But Christmas but non-Christmas film. It is great. Big hello to Barnabas Junction as well. And Tony Northeastern, we're getting a few extra people dropping in. But don't forget, everybody, tickle that like button and share the stream on social media. There's no way we're going to get 400 concurrent. I believe we're going head-to-head with the football somewhere, and also it's a really nice day. So I do not blame anybody who's out in the back garden with a barbecue and enjoying a beverage or two. But we're coming up now in about 10 minutes' time. We'll be starting to show some of your videos, so there's just time to get them in. Send the URL to the YouTube video to zoe@zoerobinson.com. Remember, keep it clean, because otherwise we'll get annoyed.
I'll cry. Hoo.
Hello to Fat Wallet Boy 2, Route 7 Railway. Bagnall Dave is heading off, but man got you Junction Carl Braun says hot cross buns are in the shops. I don't think hot cross buns ever disappear. It's like Cadbury's cream eggs. They're no longer just an Easter thing. Richard Swiderski says my local co-op has advent calendars. Yeah, ours does as well. Crossways Point Junction says, how do I link video to you? You go to your YouTube video and cut and paste the URL of the video. In fact, actually no, if you in the buttons it says share, and it's share, copy link, and then copy that link into the body of the email, and then send that email to zoe@zoerobinson.com, and that's the Greek spelling of Zoe, Z-O-E. So yeah, Barnabas Junction, we've got your video. Gronkston Model Railway sent a link to latest update, late due to email crashing. Ben Davis, out of the new Ruston 48DS. Jennifer, Hornby coming 2020 or 2021. Which one do you like the most? I really like the Express Dairies one. I think that's the blue one. And that one I really do like. I don't actually have a 48DS. It's a big, glaring hole in my collection. I did review one. It was actually Les's that I reviewed in the Army Green, which seems to be the one which everybody wanted. So that one is now sold out. I must admit it's the one that I really wanted as well. But I'm kind of looking at the Queen Anne whiskey one, and it does kind of appeal. And at the price that they're at the moment, £64 I think it is, from Rails of Sheffield, similar price everywhere else too. Then really, I think it'd be rude of me not to, but there's so many other things I need to spend my money on. I've got no money. I spent it all. Simon Trains MRS says, Yippee-ki-yay, Gronkfest. And that's right, of course, don't forget, next Monday, hashtag Gronkfest 2020 will be here on the hashtag Jenny Monday Club. So get everybody there. We're going to have all Gronks all the time. Tony Simmons, I've said to my 3 daughters, train stuff for me for Christmas. It's like me. I mean, once upon a time, people used to say I was difficult to buy for Christmas. And I kept telling people, no, there's loads of model railway things that I really want but I can't afford. You know, come to me. I've got a long list of things I want. There's lots of other things as well. I mean, like some people say, oh, socks, what a rubbish gift. Well, actually, I really could do with some new socks, so I'd be quite happy. Don't get your Christmas themed rubbish. Just like plain black socks will do me just fine. And you know,
so if you're listening to my mum and dad, that's what Jen wants this year: socks.
No, I said trains first. You come to socks if you want something to like pad them out and make them a funny shape to keep me guessing when I'm unwrapping. Get a couple of pairs of socks. Also underwear. I always like underwear.
I love the memes that turn up on Facebook near Christmas. All the dads start posting pictures of pairs of underwear with holes in, and statements like, "Just 5 more days, lads."
Big hello to AD Pullen. Wall Road is back. TARDIS in open wagons in siding. So the TARDIS has been spotted. Garthian, you're really blooming good at this. So I'm going to change the angle, and I'm going to let the cupboard monkey move the TARDIS.
I don't move the TARDIS, the Doctor does.
Yeah, we'll get the Doctor to park it somewhere else. Tony Northeastern says as well, don't forget to give your partners a big box of chocolates and flowers for Christmas so you get the special railway goodies bag. And actually, yeah, those big Christmas style tubs of celebrations and roses are only £4 in Asda. Other supermarkets are available at the moment. So I keep looking at them going, no, not whilst I'm on a diet.
I once saw someone check out what the price of those. You know, we used to always say they were bigger in the 80s, all those tins.
Yeah, but they were about the equivalent of £20 a tub.
36.
Yeah. Mike and Sue Putnam Junction, I think after the year we've all had, they are trying to, I think after the year they're trying to push Christmas as something to look forward to, whether lockdown or not. Definitely, yeah. Within Model Railway says, remember tomorrow is Battle of Britain Day.
Oh, right.
Richard Swiderski says, TARDIS yeah, there's a lot of people spotted the TARDIS. I think the Doctor's pushed on now. Andrew Davis there. J94, yeah, hashtag Gronkfest 2020. Boom! And yeah, share that on social media. And also, don't forget, tell people it will be at the Jenny Monday Club next Monday. And if you haven't already done so, tickle the like button, share the video to social media, and subscribe to the channel. Ham Shackleton says, Waddle Road, work? What's that? Yeah, wash your mouth out with soap. We don't have that kind of language here. Michael Worrell says, good evening, Jen from Durham Trains and Stanley. Long time no see. A big hello to you, Michael. Yeah, we'd normally bump into each other at shows. I'm doing great. How are you doing as well? And again, another shop I've not been to in far too long. I used to go up to concert quite often. I haven't been to concert in an awfully long time. And it's one of those things this year has just precluded any visiting family up in the northeast. But yeah, it's been too long. And don't forget, everybody, do check out Durham Trains of Stanley as well. And I know we've got a few people looking for certain items. The Shakespeare set from Bachman as well. So do mention if you've got anything like that in stock. Do put it in the comments, because I know there's a few people looking for various things.
Graham MCK says, I spot a bus. Is that a GMT bus, Bolton District?
Yeah, actually. Of course.
Well spotted.
Because that's an angle that we is sort of like new for today. Yeah, it's a GMPTE bus, and it's actually destination blinds is Bolton Great Moor Street bus station. The other thing about it as well is it was on the Great Model Railway Challenge Halloween themed layout as a toy bus, and it's one of the things which one particular judge just didn't get, that everything that was on that layout was there for a reason. And that particular bus was there because both myself and Les Cliff
she's got started
are from
again
Bolton.
now.
And that's why it was there. Everything was a subtle reference to something, and we did explain that to the judges, but one of them wasn't paying attention. And it was a pet peeve. It's like, don't assume, because assume makes an ass out of you and me.
Galvin, how did you spot the TARDIS so quick?
He's got TARDIS vision.
I hid it in the trees.
A lot of people saying a seafood diet. Seafood and eat it, definitely. David Watts, did you check out Amazon for the 264 Fowler with 3 coaches and LMS for 150? I did see that, actually. Yes, I did see it. Was tempted by it. Couldn't afford it. Let's have a look. Gosh, the people talking far too fast. People talking about a shuttle unit as well, and I really do want a shuttle unit. Where we're seeing, if I go to this shot, where the Class 24 is on the top of the hump there. Excuse me. I really want to fit a shuttle unit to allow a locomotive to just shuttle. To shuttle between the top there, all the way down to the bottom, and just sort of do it on a time interval. I'd also love to see a train that are able to go through the yard proper, all the way down to the signal box at the north end of the yard and back again. So I have the means to allow 2 different shuttle units to do their special thing.
Do you have the power to lift up a flower?
Aiden's Railways, big hello to you. Ben Tullett says TARDIS in the trees.
I've moved it.
What?
It's moved. It was in the trees, now it isn't.
Hey, I hope you're not flattening my static grass.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Wardle Road says, if I had a TARDIS, I could wait for Garthian to find it, then go back in time and guess before him. That's a
Ben
good
Tullett says, I wonder if Garthian would find the TARDIS if you hid it in the tunnel.
No, he probably, when he's not seen it anywhere, he'd guess it was there. So let's go back to this shot. We're coming very close on the time. If we had a lot of things come through.
Oh, you won't see the TARDIS now.
I'm sure somebody asked something about a big boy. I would actually love some American outline stuff, and the big boy and things like that. I would love to have them to run, but the big problem I have. What did you just press? Did you press the wrong one?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to show everyone that they wouldn't be able to find the TARDIS.
Oh, right. Right, so you've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'd love to have some American outline stuff here. I actually like some of the Australian outline stuff as well. But, again, it all boils down to money. And as we all know, this hobby is not a cheap hobby.
Crack
and there are
is
so
cheaper.
many UK outline things that, quite frankly, I've got my work cut out saving up just for them. Tim Condrup says, under the tree.
Everyone's saying, yeah, it's behind Jenny's camera.
Which one? Sorry, what?
Look at the screen. Behind your camera, the TARDIS.
Behind my camera?
Look on the screen. Look on the screen. On the screen.
Oh, right. Oh, right. I see. Did people spot it when you pressed that?
Yeah, that's why I pressed it.
Well, I'm sure that the doctor...
The Pork Chop Express says TARDIS is at Pizza Hut.
Well, actually, what you need, if you had a tard... No, it wouldn't work. No, forget that. My train of thought just derailed.
Walter Road says, I found the TARDIS, that's where Zoe put it. I didn't put it anywhere, the doctor moves it.
Garthian as well. Yes, I forgot as well. A big thank you as well to Garthian. Garthian, who's a big supporter of the channel, invited us to the Statfold Barn Railway. We went there and we had a great day's filming yesterday. That's going to go out on Friday. But also Garthian very kindly as well. He got me an LP, which was the Duffy LP. I just mislaid your comment there. I bought Jenny and Zoe a record of Duffy's first album, which I gave them yesterday, hoping they enjoy listening to it. Very much so. Not had a chance to listen to it today, but on the cover it features one of the Festiniog Railway coaches, because, as Garthian told me, Duffy used to work at the Festiniog Railway. Right. Donald Thompson. Jenny, what is the general opinion on the Hornby W4 packet? Is it a good little shunting loco? It is absolutely great. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 W4 packets. They're a great locomotive. There's a lot of weight in them. They're very reliable runners. Yeah, and at the moment, Rails of Sheffield have them for £69. They would have made it into my top 5, but Rails dropped the price 2 days after I filmed that video, so it couldn't be included. And I felt very embarrassed that when we put the video out, those locomotives were available for 69 quid from Rails of Sheffield, and I haven't put them in the video because obviously they weren't at that price when I recorded the video.
Okay, we've got a fair few videos now, so shall we start the Modern Railway exhibition?
Yes, yep, we should do.
The first one we've got is Tim Condrup. It says collection of Hornby and Bachmann Steamies.
So you want me to
Press the button.
So going over to the Intermatron, and we've got this video. Who did you say sent it?
Tim Condrup.
Tim Condrup. So I'm looking there. Tornado. That is a really nice model, it has to be said. I'll just quickly check. We have got the sound right, just checking. Ben Davis asked, out the triple pack of Hornby retro wagons, who's your favourite, Jennifer? Palethorpe's, always Palethorpe's. Oh, I do love a good A4. Merlin, I haven't got
a lot of green
one.
here. You kind of like the
I love
green.
the A4s. If I could have a full house in the BR liveries, I would. Oh, it's just... Oh, it jutted a bit there.
Unfortunately, that can happen at times.
I'm saying A3, a Flying Scotsman 4472, of course it is. Yeah, I've got one as well. Warming to that, we've got a Class 3, Class 3 shunter. That's a Midland 1F half cab. In fact, I've got that very same locomotive. Lovely model, has to be said. 14XX auto tank. I'm just looking there. Is that that looks to be the old Hornby one, or Dapol one. Certainly, it's a great model. Gronks, and then pannier tanks.
Whoa,
and then also we've got the...
It's all hung.
No, it's still going.
Okay.
So we've got the London Transport livery. I've got one as well. I've got L90, I think it is. Either L90
Mark
or
Wilson
L92.
has sent you a $5 on PayPal.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark Wilson. Sent me £5 on the PayPal.me. Sorry, I've completely forgotten.
It has been a while.
Have forgotten to keep an eye on that. That is entirely my fault, so I will just rectify that.
Well, while you're looking, I'm going to jump this forward a little bit. Oh my goodness, what is that?
Oh, 464. That is... I can't remember. I think he has mentioned before. But thank you ever so much to Mark Wilson, who sent me £5 on the PayPal.me. And it's incredibly generous of you. And
it is, really
maybe
is.
I'll
Thank
put
you.
that towards... And started my what was it? Not the Challenger, the big
9F?
boy. The big boy.
Fund. Your big boy fund.
Oh, 264 tank. I do love those. The Bachmann 264 tank. I've just bought a second one of those. But the pannier next to it, the Great Northern and Southern Railway livery. It's one that's at Keithium. It's in the Shildon Museum. But at the time, it was running at the Keithium Worth Valley Railway, as featured in the original Jenny Agata Railway Children. You all right there over there, cupboard monkey?
Oh.
Stabby pain?
Yeah.
I do love a good 2644 MT tank. I've been pleading with Bachmann, and I did send an email to Richard Proudman at Bachmann, it has to be said, pleading for 80054 to relive some quality Hornby 00 childhood memories. Castle class, Caerphilly Castle, yes. There's a lockdown in Wales, they have to handle it Caerphilly. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. Funny enough, Castle class is another class of locomotive that I don't have. I can't remember whether it's a Saint or a Grange or a Hall, but it's the one that were rebuilt to become the castles. I do have one of those. Spencer from Thomas the Tank Engine. There's a lot of storage underneath, and actually, take note of all this. This is a great way of storing stock underneath your layout.
Yes, it is.
I spy a weathered Bachmann 8-ton cattle wagon. It's just out of shot on the top there. Is that from the Hereford Model Centre Special Commission? There's a Q1 there. Hornby 00 footbridge. And
I
that looks
spy a
like
Spitfire in the background as well.
83.
Oh, we're having real problems with our internet
No, it's
tonight.
a Ginty. It's a Hornby Railroad Ginty, but it's the weathered edition. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I've stayed clear of the railroad ones myself. I've gone for the Bachmann ones, but actually that doesn't look too bad. So there's a real impressive collection there. I'm very impressed by the Thomas the Tank Engine range. What's the pink one? That looks to be one of the...
And Jen, because Mark has donated, do you want to run a Loco of his choice?
Yeah, as Mark has donated, if he'd like to suggest a locomotive that he really, really wants to see run, we can put that on for running in the end of the stream. Right, Map the Dragon Railway says, do you have the Bachmann TMC Tornado and Battleship Grey? I do not. The only grey photographic workshop grey locomotive I currently have is the Garrett that's going round. In fact, if I change to that shot, you'll see it on screen now. And I've got the W1 on order in LNER photographic grey as well. J94 says the pink one is called Rosie. Now I have to say, when I last had any kind of an inkling towards Thomas the Tank Engine, Tramway Engines was a fairly new release and was the final release. Christopher Audrey had not as yet at that point taken over and written more books, and if you watched them on TV, it was narrated by Ringo Starr. So a lot of these new locomotives, I couldn't tell you. I'm only aware through a few bits and pieces. Right.
Next up we have Out and About, a visit to Apedale Valley Light Railway.
So this is
Barnabas
from Barnabas Junction. So Out and About. Actually, it's nice to see Out and About.
My goodness, that's a detailed model.
Yeah, no, that's a Virgin
Almost looks real.
Delino, is it? Here we are, Apedale Valley Light Railway. The Moseley Railway Trust. Is that near Pudsey? Trying to think. I'm sure that's near. There's a really good second-hand bookshop somewhere near there. I think one of the problems we might be having is that we're trying to stream and play YouTube at the same time.
Normally we're fine now. This is just... I think it's a lot of people are online tonight. Mark Wilson says, Gronk, please.
Just give me 1 moment. Okay, so we're going to have a Gronk. So I think that I'm going to stop the Quest 24. So Cupboard Monkey, talk to the nice people whilst I put on the choice of locomotive.
Yeah. Water Road says, is that O gauge with a shocked face?
That is not Moseley. I'm sure this is. Would I be right in thinking that this is near? I want to say Pudsey in Leeds.
I don't know, but it does look very nice and like something that I'd love to have a try on.
There's a place I went to and there's a really great second-hand bookshop, and I stumbled across a narrow gauge railway. And I'm almost certain that it was this one, but I could be wrong. Right, anywho,
apparently this is in Newcastle under Lyme in Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh, is it? In that case, it's not the one I'm thinking of, but we have Cupboard Monkey. We have to put this place on our radar and go and visit.
Yeah.
8721.
Water Road saying, what gauge is that? It's difficult to judge,
like
but it looks narrow.
Inch.
Yeah.
4.5, 18 inch, maybe.
Flammo Chairman 1 says 12-inch gauge? Question mark.
I'm going to call 18 inch. Would be my thoughts, but right, we have now got a Gronk running.
Jenny has gronked it up.
An express parcels livery, so a big thank you to Mark.
Garthian says 2-foot gauge.
2-foot gauge, and there's a lot of 2-foot gauge about. It has to be said. Right.
Same as Statford.
Right, I'm with you.
Statfold, sorry, not Statford.
So the locomotives can visit the alternative systems.
That'd be nice. Kev McKay 85 says, ever go on the Snowdonia Railway? I would like to, but only on the way back down, because I'd want to try and climb Snowdonia. It's a sister site to the Leeds location, says Barnabas Junction.
Right.
It looks like he's had a lovely day, though. I mean, that's good weather.
Yeah, similar weather to what we had at Statfold Barn, it has to be said. And we really lucked out yesterday. The weather was absolutely amazing. And it does make for a very photogenic experience.
Yeah.
But that's definitely...
Oh, those colours.
We'll speak to Jen and Russ, actually, because they must know about this railway, because they're fairly close by.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a day out. Once lockdown's over, it would be lovely.
I'm going to have to go and have a look at this on Google Earth and just try and find it and track it down and work out where we need to go in that. But yeah, this looks to be another amazing railway. And again, like I said before, if you've not been to Statfold Barn, which is near Tamworth and Nuneaton, that was an amazing day out, and there's so much to see.
Yeah.
Particularly, don't omit to go on the garden railway. Now, it's 2-foot gauge as well, and it goes around an ornamental lake, and it's just an amazing garden railway. It's a 2-foot gauge garden railway, and that for us was actually the sleeper highlight of the trip. I just really enjoyed riding that. So if you do go to the Statfold Barn Railway, don't miss that. It could be easy to miss, you know.
So easy, in fact, that you almost did.
Yeah, well, you almost did. Wardle Road says,
Kelly Ashford says, Zoe, you must have a ride up and down on the Snowdon Mountain Railway, unless you're scared of heights. Jen is. I'm not. I love mountain climbing. That's the thing. That's why I wouldn't want to do it on the way up, because I want to climb.
Wardle Road says, I need some more railways to visit at some point. Enjoy getting behind the scenes. I think, yeah, you would enjoy Statfold Barn Railway. But
in fact, once lockdown's over and we're all allowed to travel, you and Wardle Road together would have an amazing day at some of these things.
Actually, I mean, to be honest, we should pitch that as a TV series. Like Jenny and Ollie on the road visiting all of these heritage railway attractions. I know people who know people. We could pitch this. So like me and you, Ollie, let's get together. We can do this.
Yes.
Barnabas Junction says, Jenny, you need to come visit it. I would love to come and visit it if you let me know when they're actually running, because I suspect that lockdown is going to be absolutely messing about on so many different museums and preserve railways. But yeah, we'll sort something out. I thoroughly enjoy my day at Statfold Barn Railway, so we need to do something. Get in touch.
Next up we have Gronkston Model Railway with an update on his Owlsmead project. I believe we've seen some of this last week. So this will be nice to have an update.
So I'm just moving over. Let's go live to the video. So, ECOS. This is all singing, all dancing DCC setup.
Right, so he's got his track layout there, yeah?
Yeah, and it'll be able to control points and stuff. Which is something else you can do with DCC, which I don't actually use that function myself, but I know a lot of people do. And when I did the L&Y DCC event, there was a gentleman there who was really into his DCC and actually made full use of all of this. The damage to the hard standing along the rails was done to an error by me. I forgot to trim the tops of the shoes down so the MDF would sit below the rail height. Right, I'm with you.
It happens.
And to be honest, actually, it works quite well. Sometimes you see it where in real life stuff is laid like that, where it kind of has to dip down a bit to the rails. I do like how you've done that, the concrete effect, with a weathering wash over the top and maybe a few weeds tweezed in. That will look absolutely amazing. So really liking what you've done there. I do have a soft spot for inset track, which what I might add is that at Statfold Barn Railway as well, they've got a whole load of inset track on what they call the high level line, I believe, which works quite well. Just
remembered when you were on about DCC controlling of the switches. Remember when we were at DCC Concepts and they had those actual station levers? They were miniature ones, but they were cobalt ones. They were so good.
Which apparently I think they've just come back into stock as well. So if you were looking for a means to control your point work either on DC or DCC, and you want it to look like a real signal box, then DCC Concepts have you covered.
Just imagine if you got one of those signal box kits and you put a few of those inside.
J94 says, a few years back, 778 visited my Heritage Line small 2-foot gauge railway. It's nice to see it in person.
Big. My goodness. Is that a local shed that he's got there with his controller behind it? That's pretty big. Oof.
It's a lot of operating scope to this railway. I am liking it.
It's a big one, and I admit I like it as well. I'm going to jump forward a little bit, see what else we've got to see. Oh, right.
Naive Gauge says, wow, 3 dislikes. If it gets up to 5 dislikes, does Zoe get ice cream too? Unfortunately not. We do know who the people are who are doing that, and we keep saying every week, dislikes on YouTube don't do what some people think they do. They're counted as an interaction, and actually quite a strong interaction.
Which means that now that is good.
And you've adjusted your sleeper spacing to be prototypically accurate. I'm liking that track. Is that handmade track or is that?
That is good. It looks real. Yeah, I'm really liking this.
Map the Dragon Railway says, I'm a volunteer on the ES Railway, and we're currently bringing the 100th loco to have left Barry, which is number 4110, back to life. Excellent. Bronxton Model Railway says, shed is 2 foot long. Leslie Gilpin says, all my thoughts for holidays are out of the window. Can't get to Canada, and even a cottage in North Wales would double the cost of last year. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, we have we've basically written off the idea of doing holidays at the moment. I love the weathering. It works really well. I like your buffer stop as well.
It looks real. This is this is the kind of thing that's why we do these model exhibitions.
Can I ask? ESR's East Somerset Railway. Thank you very much, Kelly Ashford, for right. Yeah, Map the Dragon Railways says the same.
I think this is what we say every time, though. But it's like, this is why we do the virtual exhibition section of the show, because people get to see what other people are doing and how they do it.
I mean, one of the things that works ever so well.
It looks real. It's great.
That oil and gunge.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I've done is if you use paint thinners and Humbrol number 85, I've used that to make really dirty, oily track quite nicely, and you kind of wash it in with thinners. And it works really well. I did that on my shed layout. I should do it like with things like the maybe that's a little project I should do and film for the TMD behind me.
And it's not just his weathering on his rails that's good.
Grongston
Those Gronks look great.
Pico. I presume that's the track with the you reset the sleeper adjusting, but the buffer stops, are they Pico as well? Because they've turned out really nice.
It looks
I
wonderful.
love that oily gunge. That is perfect.
Yeah.
And
it's like hats off. It's exact.
So I'm really impressed with that. That is like interesting. So you used.
Oh.
Right.
Oh my goodness. That is such a clever effect. You should interview him about this. I think that would make a very interesting discussion.
It's certainly created a really effective effect, and that is. I'm very impressed.
I am.
I'm looking at that. You can see the gears working in my head, and I'm thinking, how
Yeah.
can I copy that?
How can I do it?
It's so good. I'm looking at that and thinking, I need track that looks like that in the. I'm going to do that actually for the TMD. So thank you for that for the ideas. And I like the clutter as well. If you look at that refueling point. Look at that refueling point on the right.
Yeah,
that is really well done.
It looks like it's actually in use.
Yeah.
Right,
works.
we're going to have to move on because we do have a few more.
Yeah.
So
Bronxton Model Railway says Buffer's Pico kit painted black, vermilion, and buff. Really does work. Wardle Road,
so
you are
good.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. He did use scenic water and paper towel. Right. Ben told Kelly I model preserved railways as I can then run what I want. It is a great idea. Going to the Dogs also says great track weathering. That is, yeah, North End Sidings model railway. That track looks amazing. I am really liking that effect. That is one of the best, like, dirty, gungy, diesely, mucky track effects I've ever seen. Gronkston Model Railway, what the video with sound to talk about how did the track grind. I don't suppose somebody can actually post a link to that video into the chat. If one of the mods is able to just post a link, or are you able?
I'm the only one that knows what the link is, so I will do it. You want?
Yeah. Because I think that is definitely, we need to share these links in the chat.
I haven't been because I've been working in the background, but I'll grab that particular one.
And also, belatedly, hello to James Pets. Nice to see you in as well. We still got a good turnout, 281. Don't forget, tickle the like button. Share on social media. Let other people know that the stream is up and running. And if you haven't already done so, do consider subscribing.
Okay,
so
next up we have Crossways Point. If you want to jump to
Crossways Point Junction.
Now this is one that we've seen in the past, isn't it? And had to look at, so it's nice to have an update.
Just gone live, and I
Pulled
like
by
the
a
bridge.
Black 5 with sound.
Can I just say, I really like that bridge, and I think it's the Daypole Silver Bullet there on the right. It's really, really nice. So obviously we've not got the sound going, but that laser cut MDF bridge really is nice. I'm looking at that, and it's the kind of effect that I've got here. I'm using an old junk Hornby Double O girder bridge.
Wow, how shiny is that stuff next to the...
Oh yeah,
Loco?
yeah,
That's
the real
amazing.
the real ones were like that when they were new.
The effect you're getting on the camera is really... It's a pleasure to look at because it looks so good.
Tom Wilmot says, hi, just joined. What days do you stream? I stream on Mondays from 7 o'clock UK time. We're currently on British Summer Time, which is GMT +1. Every single Monday. I think we've done it for 18 months without fail every single Monday. I always love these on-train views with the camera. And it's coming along nicely, actually. We've seen this layout develop.
Yeah, and it's always good.
Yeah, Mark Holt says, I like the silver bullets, but the clean ones are too clean and the weathered ones are too dirty for my layout. I kind of know what you mean, but I think there's a place for both.
You want a Goldilocks one, don't you? Just right.
Yeah, just right.
Oh, this is modern stuff.
Well, yeah.
Right,
Somebody
I
has to do it.
Oh,
I like the way you've got that. You've used the Hornby footbridge by the look. We just sort of caught a glimpse of it to model stairs down to the lower level. It was further back in the video, but that's really nice. It's quite an impressive.
Good night, Water Road.
Oh, good night, Water Road. Wiven Model Railway, is that a bowstring bridge? I believe it is, but that was actually a really nice kit. Is that one of the War World Scenics ones? I'm wondering if it might be. Oh, Pullmans with the light-up table lamps. Do you like them?
Yes, they are quite special.
This layout is really developing nicely.
It's coming along in leaps and bounds. Very nice use of the little track signs there, the station sign even. I'm liking this. It's good to see Oh, this is a big tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a 9F. I do need to get a 9F. I've got my eyes open for a Bachmann 9F at a reasonable price.
James Pett says this is quite a big attic. Yeah, it is, isn't it? My goodness.
I love that bowstring girder bridge. That bridge there is really good. What have you done to that?
This is that is quite special. Right, do you want to jump off and we'll go to the next one?
Radio. So I'm going to move to that camera angle. Man Workman's, hi to you. Kelly Ashford says we're over our time limit. Do we have any more videos?
We have loads.
Have they been flooding in?
Yeah.
Do
you want to keep them for next week? We'll do one more.
We'll do one more, and then we're going to.
And then Jen will cough and splutter, and hopefully not get coronavirus.
I'd like to start that.
Oh, actually, we've only got 2 left. So do you want to just do them both?
We are pushed on time, so we'll do one more, and then we'll save the other one for possibly next week. Although next week the theme is Gronks, so it's class 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 shunters. We'll accept class 13s as well. But you don't have to stick to that theme, but we're having Gronkfest 2020, hashtag Gronkfest 2020 on hashtag Jenny Monday Club. So I'm
Okay,
going to
this
move
one is
over.
the Kitchen Railway Company's non-steam day.
So we've got a class 33, I'm guessing, in the middle. 55, and I didn't quite catch the other one. So class 55 Deltic. I'm sure it was 26 or a 27. Quite an eclectic mix there.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It's got style.
And it's an interesting location. Excuse me, for a model railway, it has to be said, on your kitchen worktops. But,
Why not? Do it wherever you can, basically.
I'm assuming that that's the Hornby Railroad Class 55. I must admit, I need to start working on Simon Kohler to persuade him to produce a TTS sound chip for the Class 55.
Oh my goodness, the Doctor's here in disguise. He's come as a small red phone box.
I like the footbridge as well. I used one of those for the... I cut it up to use as the ladders, not the ladders, the stairs, for Bolton Trinity Road in the shed. Palethorpes, I do like a good Palethorpes wagon, and as I mentioned before, in the Hornby Retro wagon set, I think the livery which I really like is the Palethorpes one.
James Pett says, I don't think I've seen a kitchen layout before. Yeah, it makes a difference.
It is a different location, really is different.
I like that thatched house.
Oh, I've just recently bought that tractor, the Oxford Rail one. It's over by the treehouse actually. It won't appear on any cameras.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I do like some of this.
Yeah. And it's a great way of just like putting out your model trains and having a good session with them.
Yeah. Colin Wyke says, Russell Benton looks like an HO33.
It could be actually. Ben Tullett says, is that Bill and Ted's phone box? David Scott,
Richard
good night to
Spadesky
you.
says, that must be the Master's time machine.
Yeah, actually, Lima HO scale 33.
I really do like those houses. The thatch on the top
So
looks
people
great.
are starting to drift off. So it's really hot up here.
Okay, do you want to jump back to your camera?
So we're going to jump back out, and really it's just time for me to say it's been great having you all in the stream today.
It is, and thank you very much for that last video there, Philip Page.
Yeah, and we've got one more video. So somebody did send it in.
Yes, Colin, we will get to yours next week. Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
So that'll be the first video that we show next week.
Absolutely.
So don't forget, thinking caps on, to if you've got Gronks, do record a video for us, send them in. We'll send the link to the URL link to the YouTube video to zoe@zoerobinson.com, and we're going to have Gronkfest 2020, and that's hashtag Gronkfest 2020 on hashtag Jenny Monday Club next week. But it's been really great having your company. We've gone through some of the news to do with various things. I did see I've got a message saying that there's mixed message on release dates for the J27 from Oxford Rail. So I'm going to go and track that down. I'm going to speak to Scott Rose from Oxford Rail and just try and nail the jelly to the wall and find out just exactly what the release date is on that. But until next time, you take great care of yourself. We've got the full-on video of our trip filming at Statfold Barn Railway. That's coming on Friday. Big thanks to Garthian for his support for the channel.
Thank you so much.
It's very, very much appreciated. And then on Wednesday, we've got another Terrier review. This time it is the Hornby Collectors Club Brighton Works review. And I know that this video's gone down well. I actually showed it to Simon Kohler, and he did quite like it. So hopefully it's a good one. And then we've also got many thanks to Garthian for lending me.
My goodness, TARDIS is just in shot at the extreme right. It's underneath the chat. I didn't think anyone would be able to see it, but my goodness, your eyes are so sharp.
He's got like TARDIS vision. He's got the TARDIS detector going on strong. Right, anyway, look, you all take great care of yourself. And this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying until next time, stay safe, stay socially distanced, and don't forget your mask in shops and stuff. And we'll be seeing you again then. In the meantime, check out some of our other videos, including those top 5 bargain videos as well. We did share some links in the description box below. And we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
And hopefully I might get a pizza. Bye bye.
Well, we'll see, maybe.